Let me
Test.
see. Uh, Sorry, I'm leaning halfway across my bed to type your name into my YouTube.
Cold smiley face.
Yes, we are live.
Cold smiley face. Hello, gang.
Hi, gang.
We are here to demonstrate a thing I built for Unity. Very cool. Very pog. No, I don't like that word.
Do
Very.
not say that word ever again.
You hate me. But yes,
I don't.
hate me. Okay, so this is Encrer. I designed Encrer not too long ago. Not too long ago. Um, Give me a sec. Let my brain like catch up to what we're doing. This is a software, not software. This is an extension to Unity that is designed to uh make it easier for someone to make a visual novel. That's the entire point of it. Because when it comes to making visual novels, you kind of have choices like RenPy, you have choices like Dialogic, but all those choices kind of suck because they don't have the free mobility or versatility that a proper game engine actually has. So you definitely want to get the power of a proper game engine. So, but you don't want the complexity of a proper game engine. That's always the problem here. So the way that this works is you can go into scenes when you install this on the GitHub page for OnCreate. It is a one-click download. You click download zip, and then you can delete the GOnCreate file, and then you plug it into Unity. That takes like 5 minutes. I think I just did it in 5 minutes. It's very, very simple. Once you've got it all set up, how does it actually work once it's all up and running? Well, now you go down to scenes, you click this sample scene button, and you get this. And what this is it's essentially 95% of the work you'd have to do to set up a visual novel in a singular button. So what the Unclear lets you do is essentially, if I can find it, this one. Yes. You can go to this dialogue manager button and essentially, without doing any programming, add and create an entire visual novel just from this panel, essentially. Now, in this panel, of course, you're going to have to add things like background sprites, portrait sprites, and I'll show how to use those in a moment. And you're also going to, of course, have to add your Inky file, which is going to be the core of this entire thing, on how this entire thing works. But essentially, someone who does not know any programming or does not want to deal with all the complexities of programming can have an entire visual novel created for them in less than 30 minutes if they actually know what they're doing. So to get ourselves a demonstration of this, I'm going to go nab a Inky file so we can kind of look both at the Inky file and I can show you how an Inky file works, but also so we can look at what kind of verbiage you need in order to get this system to work. And really just a demonstration of the entire system. So let me quickly download zip. Beep boop beep 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 boop beep
Beep
boop
boop.
beep.
Beep boop.
We can open this file. We can copy that into here. We need to do dialogue. We can paste that here. We can delete this one. Delete. Then we can take this file and why didn't it let me copy that directly in? Is this not extracted yet? It's not. So we grab an Inky file, you bring the Inky file in. I'll show how Inky works in one moment. You bring an Inky file in, as long as you have an Inky file, you can just drag it right into here. And then you got to make sure you have all the portrait sprites, which I can quickly go add. Do I have all the portrait sprites? There we go. So we can add the portrait sprites, very simple, not very complicated. For this example, I have this random project I worked on a while ago, which is the Adler. We love Adler. I think I only
Adler.
have art of Adler looking like this. Actually,
Mhm.
I can go nab some art from my computer.
Computer.
And I think what's important to note here is like, while this may seem like a little bit chaotic at the moment, we are 5 minutes into setting it up, like not even. And that's kind of the point of OnCreer, is that it's meant to be. Well, Ami never sent me it. And see,
I was about to say, did
send
Ami ever
me
did
dot
Ami
art.
even do that art? I don't
They did,
remember.
they did. So what you can do now, we've not even set up the images. We haven't set up anything really proper. But ow, I forgot about the sound. Give me 1 second. Give me one
Oh,
second.
that fucking awful sound. I remember it.
Yeah, I was supposed to remove that. I forgot to do that. Can I frequency level? Let's just do that. Let's see if that makes it more tolerable. Thank you. So as you can see, with 5 minutes, we already got basic systems of a VN working. We already got a background loaded. We can get the options loaded, and all of this can be edited if you give it more than 5 minutes. But that is a rough demonstration of how Encrer works. The Animal Crossing dialogue. No, no. Is anyone here in Sierpinski like men real? Real. Drools a little bit. What was I up to? Let me show off the other part of this, the other half of this. That is not currently loaded, which is. Did that load? Yes. So this is your file, which I thought I had an Inky extension installed. Give me 1 second. Come on. We need to get ourselves an ink extension. I thought I had it. Syntax highlighting for you. Thank you. So there we go. Now we got syntax highlighting, because I just wanted to make sure we could actually get syntax highlighting, or else I would get very confused very quickly. Um, so how does Inky work? This is kind of the centerpiece of this software, because what the real point of this was to make it so that the Unity side would be very, very simple, so that way anyone could do it. And that way, the Inky side, which is used by the writers, would give the writers complete control over the project without really needing to coordinate with the programmer. Because it's always frustrating when you're working on a project and you're like, hey, programmer, can you get me to do this? And they're like, yeah. And then it's like 6 weeks have passed and they haven't even gotten you the basics. Like, that's really frustrating. This lets you skip 97% of that. How does this work? Well, the core body of any Inky project is your dialogue and your like conversation. If you're making a visual novel, you need text and you need lots of it. And this is where Inky kind of dominates over things like Dialogic, which has really complex, really annoying and tedious text blocks. This you're just typing in a .txt file. So for this, at the end of the line here, so if you go down to here, that's the end of your text block. So you just type until you want the player to hit the space bar. So if you want the player to have, if I scroll down here, like a quick little thing, like you look around, this is a quick little thing, you hit enter, it's a quick little thing. If you want it to be a longer thing, the freedom is 100% in your ballpark. The next part about a visual novel that's very key is decisions. I mean, what visual novel would it be if there wasn't choices, routes, alternative endings, and that type of jazz? We need that. That is a necessity. Inky, thankfully, comes built in with decision-making processes. These work via stars. I have a better tutorial than I can possibly do here, put it on my channel, but I'm going to try my best here. These little stars essentially connotate a decision. So as you can see, I use indenting here to kind of keep track of it. These two choices would both appear on the screen at the same time. And when you choose that choice, the logic that gets executed is the line that follows. So if you choose this, then this will be the line that prints. But on top of that, we can actually use much more complicated C sharp in this. If you know how to use C sharp, you can actually set variables to certain levels and different values. And those setting of the variables and the different values can actually allow you to have a much more dynamic kind of gameplay without much complexity. As I said, here's your variables. You can set them just using var and then a variable name. And if you want to use those variables, because, part of having variables is you need to be able to use them, it's actually very simple. You just put this little weird looking symbol with the variable name, a condition, and then you put the logic that would execute if that's true. It's not, it might look a little daunting because I'm moving very, very quickly, but this is far, far, far simpler than things like dialogic, far, far simpler than C sharp itself. This is something that, like, I had a friend who learned it in like 8 hours max. It's not that bad. Next system is you can kind of control the flow of gameplay. So if you want players so they collect that they want to go to the library, well, you can send them to the library. You can send them to the classroom, send them to the cafeteria. So that way you can kind of allow gameplay to be much, much more free and versatile than a lot of VNs kind of offer. If a player wants to go somewhere, you can let them go somewhere. Um, on top of that, there's also arbitrary code execution. And that's kind of the last part of this that kind of makes it really powerful. You know, Goma, you briefly mentioned the idea of, well, if I want mini games, if I want X, if I want Y. This has the ability to very easily add in such abilities. Well, at the very moment, it doesn't have it fully because this is a project I made on a whim 8 months ago. What you could do is use one of these things like this. So by defining an external, as you can see, we have background, play, emote, and portrait state. We could just add another one like that, and you could be like external minigame, and then you could define the minigame but through an int value or something like that. And what it would do is it let you execute a line of logic that you play a minigame at that point in the code, as this currently changes the background, or where's the other one? Where's the other one? There's other ones. I don't actually know if I use the other ones. But the point is you could do anything you want. Anything that C# can do, anything that Unity can do, you can do it through Inky markup, which means the writer has control of when things occur. Like, yes, you're going to have to talk to a programmer, likely me, to make sure that it functions properly, but the writer has full control of what occurs, when occurs, why it occurs. And there's no need to pull in a programmer to kind of transcribe your work. And that's kind of the big issue I've noticed a lot with visual novels projects is that these writers have these amazing ideas, but then the programmer doesn't really understand it and kind of simples it or dies it down, which ruins the entire process. The last thing to kind of mention here while I'm at it, if I remember what I was about to say. My memory's not the best. Oh, there's something called tags. Tags are the last thing I want to show off here. So as you might see on some of these lines, you might see like here, this is portrait. There's also speaker Adler. I don't know if there's any others, but these tags work the same way as arbitrary code execution, but for specific code. In Encrer, the only ones that are defined are speaker and portrait. And they essentially say, you know, this speaker tag defines what, when we go over to Unity, what the name of the speaker block says, while the portrait block defines which PNG we show for the character's portrait. And that's the basics of Encrer. I have two proper tutorials on the channel that actually explain the software, because I didn't design it to not make tutorials for it. But it's relatively simple. It's very kind of versatile in what it's able to do. And the thing is, if it can't do something right now, I am one text message away. And you go, "Hi, Chris Beast. You don't have X. You don't have Y. I kind of need X or Y. I can make X or Y. It's not that hard. OnCareer is kind of designed to be modular in that way. That is on career. Now, I'm also hoping that Ami will text me back with those art pieces.
Is Almi
I think they're
alive
dead.
right now?
I think they're dead.
I think they fell asleep. Did they fall asleep? 'Cause it's like
Yeah,
1:11.
I tried texting them. They're gone.
Yeah, they're probably sleeping.
They went eeper sleepers.
Or Almi. They deserve Reaper Sleeper.
They are the hibernator. No problem. I figured I'd show it off. So you can make a decision what you want to roll with. Renpai is valid. I just feel like, of course, I'm going to be a little protective of my own software. But I figure this was a very easy way to demonstrate what this can do, so you can make a decision what you think would be the proper move. Now, granted, hopefully I figure out a way to make the stupid Animal Crossing background noise get replaced with something I can actually listen to and not want to blow my eardrums out.
Yeah, we gotta do some hunting for some sounds.
What if I just like record Charles' grunting noise?
Just record my dog grunting.
Yeah. Ami does. Where is the art? They finished it and they didn't send it
Did
to
they
me.
ever send it? Why would they?
They
Actually,
sent
I was
me
thinking, why wouldn't they send it? But then I'm like, it's Almi.
they sent me a screen recording of the art.
Almi is screen recording. Oh my god, they're so fucking silly. They're so silly.
Well, I think that's all. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to show off. If Ami's art is not here, quite splendid. Much smile.
It's just mine.
Yeah, Renpai is. I'm not a fan of Python, so of course I'm not a fan of Renpai. So I'm a little bit of a biased source. That's why I wanted to like directly show you what this is, so you could be like, okay, here's what it is. There's no bias. That's like this is exactly what it is. This is how it works. There's nothing hidden. This is an exact demonstration. Um, I wonder if I properly muted that annoying sound. I did.
Let's hope so. Oh, you
Isn't
did.
that splendid?
Much smile.
Much smile. I mean, there's still work to be done on this, but this is splendid. This is splendid. We'll also beat up Ami until Ami gets me the program I need. I
Plus
think that's
10 smile in the chat. Real.
I think that's all for this stream. Because originally I thought I could show off the new art, but Ami is gone. So evidently I
Oh,
can't.
no, you are. No,
But
you
that
aren't.
is all. I shall now bid you all adieu. Plus 10 smile in the chat. Real Luna. Real. Alright, ciao ciao y'all. I'll be back in a little bit with a separate stream where I think we're gonna be doing either data mining or scene or whatever. I haven't decided yet. Ciao ciao.